If biases, discrimination, and duality had a face, it would be the communist government of Kerala. After easing the lockdown norms in the middle of a swelling second wave to appease the minority community, which led to a deadly spurt in cases across the state, the Pinarayi Vijayan government is now asking its citizens to not celebrate the Hindu festival of Onam. It was a fact well understood that the Vijayan government, or in fact any party that comes to power in Kerala, is inherently anti-Hindu in its stance. However, there used to be a certain method to appeasing the minority which didn't appear blatant. But even that pretense is off now. Hi and welcome. You are watching TFI English, the national and socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I am your host Sohil, and in this video, I will tell you how the Vijayan government in Kerala is blatantly showing its discrimination towards the Hindus by banning Onam after pandering to the Muslim community on Bakrid. So, let's begin. Kerala Health Minister Veena George on Saturday asked people to avoid crowds and, if possible, even events, celebrations during the Onam festival. She also urged people not to visit relatives to reduce the risk of COVID infection. However, the diktat is strange, given the fact that a different yardstick was used to frame rules for Muslims and the celebration of Bakrid. Despite raging infections in Kerala and the state government's inability to manage the pandemic, the Vijayan government gave in to the pressure and had lifted lockdown restrictions for 3 days to celebrate Bakrid or Eid ul Adha from July 18 to July 21st. As reported by TFI, Kerala had reported 22,129 COVID-19 cases after the Bakrid celebrations in the state. It was the first time since May that the southern state had reported more than 20,000 cases on a single day, which resulted in the highest single day spike in COVID-19 in 2 months. As a result, the Supreme Court had slammed the Kerala government for allowing a 3-day relaxation in COVID-19 restrictions on the occasion of Bakrid. On Sunday, Kerala posted 20,728 cases, the 6th straight day that the daily count had stayed over 20,000. Its test positivity rate also remained high at 12.14%, while the national average is 2.34%. Active cases also rose to 1,67,379, more than 1/3 of the active cases in the entire country. According to a Times of India report, worryingly, there were signs that Kerala's COVID surge was spilling out to its neighboring states. Neighboring Tamil Nadu and Karnataka have put restrictions on people traveling from the state, with the former making RT-PCR tests mandatory for people coming from the state from August 5th and Karnataka only allowing vaccinated people to enter the state. Ever since the seroprevalence data was released by the government, the sepoys of the Kerala government in the Lutyens media, as well as the high-ranking officials of the Pinarayi cabinet, have been twisting the numbers to suit their narrative. If the low seroprevalence of 44.4% means that the spread hasn't been as sporadic, according to former Finance Minister Thomas Isaac, it also means that fewer people have the natural antibodies to fight the virus. With a positivity rate touching 13%, the state and its people would rather have high sero numbers than high infection numbers. If we do believe that lesser people are infected in Kerala because people are conscientious on SOPs such as masks, distances, and hygiene, then how does the state government explain its latest report that Kerala has more districts of concern with over 10% rate than any other state? If Pinarayi Vijayan's government is good with testing and people are SOP friendly, why are the cases rising? The Liberals often use the excuse of Kerala testing more, and thus the cases are being reported on a large scale. However, the argument falls flat when one does a comparative study. Uttar Pradesh is the state that has set new records in testing on almost a daily basis throughout the last 6-7 months. The state government under Yogi has been conducting more than 4 lakh tests per day, and yet the state has recorded less than 10% of what Kerala has reported, despite having a population of 24 crores. However, the upshot of the article is clear discrimination meted towards the Hindus, forming a different set of rules for a community and later tearing it to pieces to rule the Hindus, which most certainly would quietly sit back and adhere to it, just speaks volumes about how secularism works in a country like India.